Hey y'all, today we're going to be making a pork roast with veggies dinner. It's going to feed the whole family. It's going to be super good, and we're going to make it all while having a whole lot of fun.
Get your pork butt to work.
Hi, welcome back to another edition of Cooking Chris's Dishes with the Good Old Boy, where we're cooking up dishes straight from recipes.crock.com, which is my beautiful wife's cooking blog. And today we are cooking a friend's recipe. Who is that friend?
Yes, we are cooking up pork and veggies from my friend Mary over on Deep South Dish.
Hi, Mary, if you're watching.
Yes, she has a cookbook called Homestyle Southern Recipes that we put this recipe up on the blog a while back, and people loved it, so we thought we'd make a video to go along with it.
And it goes a little something like this. Here's what you're gonna need: a great big butt. We have ourselves a pork butt. Something between 4 and 6 pounds is what you're wanting. We have a 6-pounder right here that is going to feed a lot of people, or a little bit of people, for a long, long time. Along with that, you want to have 2 tablespoons of olive oil, which I'm going to go ahead and put into my hot crock while I tell you about the rest of the stuff. 2 tablespoons. That's about it. You also want to have, and this is to taste, some garlic, some Cajun seasoning, some salt, some pepper. You want 1 stalk of chopped up celery, 1 rib, depending on where y'all are from. And then she says that you want to have 3 to 6 large chunked, or 3 to 6 carrots that have been cut up into large chunks. You also need 1/2 cup of water. I best tell you about the taters. You want 10 small red potatoes, or we had some big red potatoes, so we're doing 5 big red potatoes that are quartered up, you know, bite-sized chunks. You want 2 cans of mushroom soup, cream of mushroom soup, and then also at the end you want some sage. You want some sage. I'm starting to get all southern myself when I make this. You want yourself to have 1/2 teaspoon of dried thyme and 1 teaspoon of dried sage. Well, we went looking in the pantry, and well, frankly, we were out of time.
Because it flew, remember?
That's right. Time flew all over the floor, and we forgot to go get some more. So what we got was a little creative, and we used some of our poultry seasoning that we have, and it's got thyme and sage in it, so we had to improvise. It's totally okay to do. It's your kitchen. Improvise if you want. If you want to put strawberries on top of this weirdo, go ahead. I don't care. You're going to eat it. But the first thing I want to do is get that oil hot. Once I have done that, and I have...
You might not care, but I'm going to say don't do that.
No, don't put strawberries on your pork roast. Unless it's good, who knows? I don't know. Somebody wants to try it and get back with us. Okay. I'm going to season my butt. I'm just going to put some garlic to my taste, because we're going to be the ones that have this for dinner and lunch and dinner and lunch for quite some time. I'm going to do 1 side apiece there.
No, we're out of time.
That's right, we're out of time. We've covered that. My little spice girl back there. And I'm liberal when it comes to my seasoning, so I want a lot of Cajun seasoning on there, because I really want to flavor up all of this pork, and it's going to make a really good crust on it. A little bit of salt right on the top, and a little bit of pepper. I'm not much for the pepper. A little bit of pepper is good for me. And I'm going to pat that little butt.
Oh my goodness.
And then I'm going to take that while that's getting hot, all that oil down there, I'm going to put it fat side down, and I'll show you why here in a minute, down in the bottom, and then I'm going to go back through and season the top. Again, with as much garlic as I want, as much garlic as you want. Do this however you want, because like I said, you're the one going to be eating it. And frankly, that's a lot of meat you're spending money on, so season it how you know you're going to enjoy it.
But speaking of spending...
I've got butt to fingers.
Speaking of spending money, we actually got that roast. It was like between a 6 and 7 pound roast for under $10, because it was a manager special, because it was getting ready to expire. And so that's a really great tip when you're going to cook big cuts of meat like that. Look for the things that maybe aren't selling as quickly. And that even if you can't make it the next day, you could pop it in the freezer for later.
Yep. So if you could find a good deal, especially on a size of beef that big,
that's not
go
beef,
for it,
baby.
man. or pork, or chicken, or fish, whatever you got. If you can find a special on it where you can get it for the cheap, not only are you making an extremely large and delicious meal, but you're doing it for a lot less money. So, got some extra spices there, kind of went overboard. But we'll clean that up later. We'll clean this up now. Get the juices off there. We'll save them tongs for here just a minute. I'm going to do some dishes real quick, and I'll be back in 3, 2, 1. And the cutting board has been cleaned, and now it is time to flip our meat. All you want to do is brown it. You're not cooking this thing. You're just putting that crust on there. So fat side went down first. Now comes the fun part to see if I can get my meat flipped. Takes a special skill.
Be careful of my non-stick coating.
Yeah. We got a brand new, oh, hear that sizzle. We got a brand new slow cooker that we're trying out now. This is our Instant Pot slow cooker. If that doesn't confuse you, it really should. But Instant Pot has come into the slow cooker world now, along with Crock Pot, Cuisinart, and everybody else. And so we're testing it out. This is its virgin debut. And this is a multi-cooker, so you notice I didn't have to brown this in a skillet. This has got a browning feature on it, and then once it's browned, we're going to flip it over to slow cook it, so we're going to see how well we did. So far, we like the design of it. We're hoping that it holds up as good as our others do as well.
Yes.
So now I am going to let that brown on this side, and I'll show you why I did that fat side up. Yes, my love?
I just wanted to clarify that we're not huge fans of Instant Pot slow cooking feature on their pressure cooker, but so far we're thinking the multi-cooker might do better for us.
You think they heard us when we talked about that before, and they went, well, we'll just show them, we'll just build them a slow cooker.
I doubt it was us, but I think a lot of their fan base felt the same way about the slow cook feature.
Well, Instant Pot, if you're watching, we're watching you right there.
We're excited.
Yes.
We love multi-cookers.
Look at that right there. See that crust? That brown? It's crunchy on the top. You see that garlic's cooked in with all those spices and the salt. And oh, it smells so good in this house right now. But all I want to do is brown that on that side as well. And that oil is going to help it to crisp up and give it that crust, that little skin on it. And that is what most of your flavor is going to come from, other than from all your veggies in your soup. But there's so much flavor in this roast. I mean, the spices alone on top is going to give a lot of flavor, but then carrots are going to give it flavor. Of course, you're going to have some taters that go with it. The celery is going to give a little bit more texture to chew with, and then that soup, when you put it in there, again, that's going to just double the flavor in it. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it turns out as good as what Mary says it does.
Well, I've cooked it before too.
I don't think you cooked a butt this big though. And let's talk about butt. Let's have a little butt talk right now.
What?
When we talk about pork butt, pop quiz, where does the pork butt come from? Don't say a pig because we know it's pork. But what part of the body does the butt actually come from?
I know.
Lady in the back, go ahead.
Shoulder.
That's exactly right. People think pork butt, that's actually a ham. But a pork butt is the shoulder. But if you're actually going to eat the butt of a pig, it's going to be the ham. And we're not making ham until later because it's not Christmas. We're making pork butt, so we're doing it from the shoulder. You know, I went to the butcher the other day, and I said, I want a really good piece of meat. He gave me the cold shoulder.
Oh my goodness.
Come on, that's you're getting some extras here. Not only are we cooking good food, but there's some comedy coming at you.
Total side note. While this is recording,
yes,
before Christmas, I'm pretty sure it's going to air after Christmas. let me look to clarify. Yeah, it's going to be airing the day after Christmas.
But see, you've had your ham and you've had your turkey, so now it's time for some butt.
I think you just like saying butt as much as you can.
I do, but now one thing I'm going to do with this great big roast is
not scrape the inside.
Not scrape the inside of the pan, but I'm going to let that go up on its end. And I want to sear all sides of it. So I'm just going to do this for just a little bit. Just got to let my butt soak in that oil.
Michael!
That's what it's doing! And then I'm going to come to this side. I think I need a chain hoist.
Everybody's just waiting for you to burn yourself, just so you know.
I'm a professional. That won't happen. Literally, it's my job now.
You better not scrape the inside of my
No, I said I did that for a reason, fat side up, and then I flipped it all over the place, and I can't find the fat on the butt. There it is. It's right there. We're good. Let that sear right there, and then I'm going to flip it up, smack it, and rub it down. Sorry. Song lyrics coming at you. Just do it on all sides. Get the oil. Ooh, that smells so good. Oh, that smells so good.
So if you don't have a multi-cooker, how should you do this?
You'd be doing that in a skillet with about 7 pairs of hands with how big that roast is. But yeah, all you do is you would saute just like I'm doing. You're browning your meat. You would brown it in a great big skillet with the same amount of olive oil, the same way, and then you would transfer that over to your slow cooker later in a way that I'll show you here in just a little bit. I'm going to do one more side. Let that last side get in that oil. Kind of get some crust going there. I think we're good.
I think
it's good right there.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to lay that back on the board. Fat side up. And there's a reason for that. Now, this is a non-stick skillet. No, it's not. Now, this is a non-stick slow cooker, so you shouldn't have to worry about brown bits going and sticking to the bottom like you would a skillet, but just in case, we're going to follow the instructions to a T. I'm going to put my half a cup of water in there and just give it a stir. And it's also going to get the stuff that got to the sides and put it down in that water, and you just want to stir up your brown bits. If you're doing this in your skillet, same thing, half a cup of water into your skillet and stir up those brown bits, and then you would transfer them to your slow cooker. I'm also going to kill that heat. How do you shut it off? This is the fun part about not knowing what you're doing.
No.
Cancel! On the bottom is a little button that says cancel. That's what I would do if I were you. Now, while that's going on, the next step, while that's finally cooling down, is you want to put your veggies in the crock. So taters, right in. Oh, look at that. It's got a cute little handle on that colander. Cool. Taters. Carrots. And that's also going to help cool that down. Celery. In there. Just like that. And then the next step would be to pour the juices on top from your skillet. Again, we're using one piece of equipment here, so we don't have to worry about 2 or 3, and you can see my pretty face most of the time. So it's already in your juices. That is good. Then the next step is to create a well in the middle of your veggies. So I'm just going to pull these veggies back to where they're more to the side. Just like that. Pull those veggies back. And then I'm going to create a well. I did that. The next step is to pour the soups on top of the roast and season. Wait. Create a well in the center of the veggies, then place the roast fat side up into your slow cooker. Cris, you did so well on that last little quiz. Why do you put the meat fat side up in there instead of fat side down?
Because the fat is going to break down as you slow cook, and if it's on the bottom, then it's only going to flavor the things on the bottom. But if it's on the top, then it will break down and flavor everything from the top down.
That meat's going to go, or that fat's going to just render and go right into that meat. And it's going to get it all juicy. And all them spices and stuff that you put on top of that fat's just going to soak into that meat. Oh, it's going to be so good. In fact, I don't want to waste any of those juices that came off that roast, so I'm going to put them right on top of there. Like that. I shall clean off my hands. And then the next thing I want to do on top of the roast, pour my soup. I totally put my spatula in the sink. It's okay, it was right on top of that cutting board, so we're good. Roast gets a bath in cream of mushroom soup. Now, some people don't like canned cream of mushroom soup. Do you have any remedy for that, Hood?
Yes, we have homemade versions on the website if you would like to make your own. Or I'm going to just put this out there. If you want it to just cook like a roast and not have a creamier gravy in the bottom, you could also just not put it on there if you wanted to.
Alright. Actually, that came out pretty clean. It's like, get up there.
I'm just going to ask. I'm not looking at the recipe, but were you supposed to mix that with the sage and the thyme? Or when was that supposed to go in? I was wrong?
You're wrong.
Well, get it on tape. Come on now.
Say it, say it.
I was wrong.
And?
And you were right.
That's probably one of the only times you'll ever hear that in the history of our marriage. I'm looking at the instructions. Next thing I want to do is take my sage and my thyme, or in our case, our poultry seasoning.
You know why you were right?
It's going to go right on top. Go ahead. Tell me, why was I right?
Because you're an old sage.
You just had to get that last spice joke in there.
You're using poultry seasoning, so maybe that's
true. That just makes me a big old chicken.
A big chicken.
Right on top of that pork, just so everybody knows what we're cooking here.
Yeah. We've called it beef and chicken and everything.
Tell you what, we're cooking fish. This is a great big old thing of salmon, y'all. That's good, just like that. So all that seasoning goes on top.
In an Instant Pot crock pot.
I am so confused right now. As far as I know, this is an ice cream social. So next thing you want to do is you want to cook this on high. And you're thinking, you're supposed to slow cook this. You are. This is a big roast. So you want to cook this on high for 6 to 8 hours, or you can do it on low for 8 to 10 hours. So we're going to do the high version. Uh-oh.
It'll be okay.
Oh, it's going to...
It's good. We're all good.
Okay, Instant Pot. You're making Daddy happy right now because that fit perfectly, and that is a huge dinner. So far, we're getting one of these. So we will come back in, I don't know, 6 to 8 hours from now. And, well, we will. For you, it's going to happen just like this in 3, 2, 1. And our pork roast should be done. It's cooked now for over 8 hours, so it ought to be good and tender. Let's see what she looks like. Ooh, definitely got some steam going on there. Let's see what we got here. We got carrots, and they are... Oh yeah, they're tender. They're tender, but they're not like mushy tender. They're just tender. Those potatoes are completely done, and then you can't even see the celery. It's gone down in there. What I'm interested in, I can't really cut a pork roast with a spoon. I'm not saying it's not that tender.
I was interested. You be careful with that knife and my nonstick coating.
Here we go. Let's cut into this puppy. It's not a puppy, it's pork roast. Oh, I didn't know there was a bone in it.
Yes.
Oh,
it's a shoulder roast, dear.
Oh. Well, this thing's got a bony butt. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's just do this. Just peel some off. Ooh, I found one right there. We'll get this right here. This little piece.
Oh, my word.
Right here. Hey, lady, I've been smelling this cooking all day.
I feel like you're like a surgeon in there.
All right. So we got a nice little piece of meat right there. Just a taste, you know, just a taste. And then, let's go ahead and don't lick the knife as much as you want to. Prior experience, don't do it. Let's get some carrots. A couple carrots there. Maybe that carrot will jump on there for me. And a tater. And then I could spoon some of that gravy if I didn't have a slotted spoon. But I wasn't prepared for this. So let's see what we got going on here. Look at that. Watch what I do with that fork. It goes right through that meat. Get me a carrot. And some pork to start out with. My dog is down there on the floor right now looking at me like, please drop some of that. Please drop some of that. And I won't. Oh my goodness. The carrot adds a lot of sweetness to all the spices that went into that pork. And again, I generously spiced up that pork. But because it's such a big roast, you don't get a lot of that heat from like the Cajun spices that we used. But yet, there on the back end is just a little to know that's there. It's plenty salted. Those are some of the best taters I've ever had. Those potatoes, you know, they soak in a lot of that juice.
You alright?
I swallowed it too fast. It was too hot. But the potatoes soak in a lot of that juice. And so a lot of that flavor is going to go into your taters. But that pork roast is amazing. And then that mushroom soup, you get little bits of mushroom that come with it. That'll feed a small army or a small firehouse. That's where a lot of this is going to go. But they can't have what I got. Because that is so good. Now that spice is starting to creep up a little bit. Again, it's not hot. I don't want anybody to get afraid that you're going to get something super hot and spicy. Because though I can handle it, if I'm going to have dinner, I'm not really much for a lot of spicy. But I like just a little heat just to let you know there's something there keeping it warm, you know. But again, if it's too spicy, you think, get one of them carrots with it. That sweet will cut that spice. Yes. I am giving myself a round of applause because that is a perfect pork roast. That is seriously, seriously good. I'm probably going to go after seconds after we're done taping, so I'm going to hurry and wrap this up. If you like what you see, please give us a thumbs up down below. Also, if you haven't become a member of the Crock Posse, click the little subscribe button and become a member of our beloved Crock Posse. And if you love what we're laying down here, if you're picking it up what we're laying down, check us out over at patreon.com/recipes-that-crock for ways to support this channel and what we do for the Crock Posse. We love y'all, and if y'all keep watching, we'll keep cooking, and all will be well. I tell you what, meals like this make me feel like I'm eating high on the hog. But, alright, let's get this cooking. Stop, tape, did I? Oh, no, 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 no!
Oh no. Oh no. This is what happens when Mikey forgets to push the button.
Forgot to hit record.
Hey!
Yeah.
Are you having fun?
I'm having fun!
Alright! Do you need an attitude adjustment?
No, I need a raisin celery!
I don't care it about that.
What are you talking about?